speak to us. I'm going to turn the time over to him now. Randy Horiuchi.
Well, I wanted to welcome somebody here, and I think I misplaced it, but one of the great guys of all time in Salt Lake County, Jim Whiten. Jim must have snuck out to go to the bathroom, but Jim works for our county. I always thought Jim was a Republican, and he works for a Democratic county auditor, our county auditor, Jeff Hatch, who's an unbelievable. There he is. I wanted to welcome you officially. Jim is one of the great county employees, and I don't know whether you're a Republican or Democrat, Jim, but it's so great to have you here. Before you leave, I want you all to hug him and give him a big warm welcome, because he is one of Salt Lake County's very best. Now let me just say this. Today, we begin the reemergence of the Davis County Democratic Party in the state of Utah. The question can be asked, can it be done? And I'm going to say to you, yes it can. In 1986, now that's some 22 years ago, I was elected state Democratic chairman, and I inherited 14 out of 75 legislators, 5 state senators, no commissioners, no congressmen, national office holders. Our highest ranking Democratic official in the state of Utah was Sheriff Pete Hayward in Salt Lake County. And when I left in 1989, we went from 14 to 30 in the House. We doubled the number of people in the state Senate. We elected a county commissioner in Salt Lake County. We had 2 congressmen and also the state's attorney general, Paul Van Dam. It can be done, and it can be done in Davis County. Now there are a number of reasons, and I'm going to give them to you. And when I leave here today, I want you to think about the reemergence of the Democratic Party here, the reanimation of the Democratic Party here, and the reaffirmation of the Democratic Party here. Now, can it be done? Here's reason number 1. Davis County has great tradition and great heritage of Democrats. Remember, the birthplace and the founding of all Democrat goodness in Cal Rampton was here in Davis County. In 1986, when I was state chairman, most of the leadership of the state party that helped me lead the resurgence of the party in 86 and 88 came from Davis County. The outstanding Elizabeth Woolley was my vice chair, and the irascible Louise Henson, national committee woman. You've had one of the greatest county commissioners in the history of the planet with J.L. Holbrook. Yeah. Yeah. Democratic leadership earlier with the great Mike Miller, who was chairman 2 times prior to me, and now his outstanding son, Rob Miller. And who can forget the giant who has done so much for this party in running, the great Greg Sanders, who's here somewhere. I saw Greg. And you also have the sage, I call him the Caucasian Buddha, which I am probably the real Buddha, in Todd Taylor. And Gibbs Smith and others have really carried through the tradition of the Democratic Party here in Davis County, but across the state. So, can the party be rebuilt here because of its great stock and heritage and core? Yes, it can. Now, secondly, here is why the Davis County Party can come back. Because of something known as the phenomenon of President Barack Obama. Now let me just say this. Have you ever seen a human being work harder to fix a problem in the history of mankind? No. No. And let me just tell you something. And it's such a, what a juxtaposition of President Obama versus 8 years of, let me say, the worst presidency in the history of the world. He was involved in 2 wars. President Obama is getting us out. We have record deficits, and I probably shouldn't speak about deficits, but I will tell you that during the 8 years of George Bush, the biggest economic collapse in the history of America but for the Depression. He had the highest disapproval rating of any human being to ever be president. And once again, I want you to remember this, simply the worst president in the history of America. Now, what's up with these Republicans? You know, the other day we saw these incredible tea parties. Now think about that for a minute. I, by the way, love tea, being of Japanese descent. It's the beverage of choice. But remember, the original Tea Party was taxation without representation. Yet these right-wing Republicans have 2 U.S. senators. Is that representation? Ostensibly so. They have 2 congressmen. Is that representation? Ostensibly so. They have over 70% of the legislature, and they have basically all the statewide offices. So how can you cry about taxation without representation when you truly have it? The fact is, when this is over, and because the hardworking Barack Obama is doing everything in his power to bring this economy back, when it happens, will Davis County Democrats be there to reap the reemergence of this party? Yes! Yes! Now, this is something that's very important. Another reason why this party in this county will come back. Because we as a Democratic Party are the party that has demonstrated the best ability to protect and preserve the quality of life in Utah. We all know, no question, whether the NEA says so or not, or the DEA, Democrats have been the party of education. We have continued to remind everyone, from the press to the people to the PTAs. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the Republican Party tried this year to get rid of the PTA. And all I can say to you is, it's this party that's backed up and stood for education. In Salt Lake County, it was a Democratic majority that has produced $48 million worth of open space protection in our county to preserve. It's our Democratic majority that boasts the best library system in the state, the building of the Clark Planetarium, of which we champion, soccer fields, the building of the Children's Museum, and you ask the question, which party supports the family? It's Democrats. And ladies and gentlemen, it is our party that will fight making Utah a dumping ground of nuclear waste by Energy Solutions or any of the other bunch of crazies. That is something. And when you have a congressman who was once their lobbyist bringing in nuclear waste to Utah and polluting our state, that is wrong. It's our party that safeguards the issue of clean air, of renewables. It's President Obama who believes the green revolution can happen. It's our party that's protected wilderness, open space. It's our party that takes advantage of rebuilding the quality of life in the state of Utah. It's our party that's headed up mass transit and possibly light rail to this great community. And it is our party that watches out for your quality of life. As we begin to rebuild here in Davis County, will we be taking advantage of the idea that we are the party of the quality of life? Yes, we are. Now, finally, the best reason why we're going to come back. It is clear to me that the Republican Party is imploding. It is imploding because it is being taken over by a right-wing faction that is so scary that it makes me want to pee my pants. When you think about this, and Rush Limbaugh is their stalwart, they take their signals from Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and Michael Reagan. It is a sad day. Every day, moderate Republicans come to me, and now it's even moderate Republican office holders that come to me and are frightened of their own party and say to me, you know what? I wish I were a Democrat because I would not have to deal